Hey there, it's Chris from Good Roads. In this video we're headed back out into the backyard trail system. The last build I did out here was a berm, and since then the trail has dried up a bit and is super fun and whippy. But it leaves me wanting two things: more speed and ramps. I need ramps. So in this video we're going to take care of that. First, let's tackle the issue of speed, since that's pretty straightforward. All I need to do is extend the trail further up the hill into the woods. So I raked up the leaf litter, and trimmed some of the scrub that was in the way. And packed it down. Now there's a twisty path through the trees that let me start my runs much further up the hill. This trail is meant to be on the easier side, but one of the things that I like about riding greens and blues is that there will often be bumps and lips on the side of the trail that can be super fun to play around on. So that's my goal here, to make some fun, optional side hits. And I thought a good place to start would be this rock. It's jutting out of the ground at a mellow angle just to the right of the trail up towards the top, and you can already kind of pop off of it. So I think a little bit of tuning is all it's going to take to make this into a really great little feature. First, I transplanted the sapling that was in the way. I've been trying to do more of that instead of cutting plants down, because I'm hoping that it will help my trails have less of an impact on the surrounding forest. Then I started digging out some transition uphill from the rock and leveling out the area below it. And while I was at it, I figured since all that rock and dirt needed to go somewhere, that I could build another little berm next to the ramp. This would help level the grade and make it easier for anyone who is taking the main rampless route. After that, I brought in the groomer to get some packing done. Then I clipped roots and gave the surface a rake. And just like that, a single trail now has two options. The left side has a nice mellow banked turn, and the right side has a fun little natural stone kicker. And while that feature was fun because it's made out of a natural part of the landscape, it's not a very big ramp. So up next, I wanted to take a better look at this dirt mound that I've been eyeing to the left of the trail. I had to pull some rotting boards out of the way and use the weed whip to cut down some raspberry canes before I could get a good look at it, but yeah, with a little work, this looks like it could be really fun. Not too shabby. I think this is gonna work. Oh my god, there's so many flies around the camera. Spring, guys, there's nothing I can do about it. So I raked it clear. But there was one last thing I needed to check before giving this feature the okay. There was a big rock on the downhill side of the mound, and I didn't know how big it was. So I dug up around it to make sure the landing was clear, and yep, it looks like we're gonna have plenty of room. I wanted the lip of this ramp to be carved into this little hill, so I piled up some mossy logs to one side to catch the dirt, and then got digging to level it out. Yes, yes. And finally, some easy rock-free soil. I think, based on the old boards and the kind of stuff that I was digging up, that this little hill used to be a compost pile, and that means light, soft soil. And I am going to enjoy it while it lasts, because digging on the property is probably never going to be this easy again. Up at the peak of the jump, I dug a little trench to hold some more logs. My thinking is that this will help retain the lip of the jump and also give you a visual indication of when you need to pop. Then I started shaping the downhill side. There's a little bit of a slope here, so if you take the jump slow, it will act like a spine and help you get some of your speed back. And man, this dirt is a pleasure to work in. It took me less time to rough shape this ramp than it took me to build the little berm and kicker up the hill. I started clearing out the trail below the ramp, but I was losing light, so I headed in for the night. And one night turned into a few days because we got some really heavy rain. After the storm broke, I came out to get back to work and I found that the transition into the new ramp had some drainage problems. So I dug a little French drain and dry well and filled it with gravel from the driveway. The idea is that if I give the water a path of least resistance away from the ramp, that it'll take it and help keep it dry. And that seems to have worked. I covered the trench back up, then reshaped and repacked the transition. Then I finished up the work to clear the area that connects back to the main trail. The groomer is too wide to fit up the lip of my ramp, so I loaded my wheelbarrow with rocks and rolled it over the dirt to get it rough packed. Then finished it by hand, or by foot, I guess. I gave it a few hours in the sun to bake and dry out, and then it was time for a test drive. Heck yes! This works great! The ramp is a really nice size, and the transition is mellow but still gives plenty of pop. Okay. With that feature built, things are starting to get really exciting. Now, when you're riding the trail, you have lots of options about what to do. You can take the original line for a fun, fast cruise down the hill. Or you can make use of the side hits and take a jump line down towards the berm. Or you can mix and match. The world is your oyster. And as for me, I'm just happy to be getting back into the air again. I'm definitely rusty. I still need to get my chops back. But with a little bit of practice, I'll get there. Thanks for watching, guys. Leave a comment if you got questions, subscribe if you haven't, and until next time, I'll see you soon.